Yoseikan Karate or Yoseikan Ryu Karate is the name given to the variant of Shotokan Karate taught at the Yoseikan Dojo in Shizuoka, Japan, under the direction of Minoru Mochizuki. Minoru Mochizuki trained directly under Gichin Funakoshi, the man who formally introduced karate to the Japanese mainland in 1921. In the 1970s, Minoru Mochizuki formally organized his arts into Yoseikan Budo, including karate, aikido, judo, Tenshin Shoden Katori Shinto-ryu, jujutsu, kobudo, iaido, kendo, jojutsu, and kempo. A small number of schools through the world still focus on the traditional karate aspect of Yoseikan, and as such refer to it as Yoseikan Karate, or Yoseikan Ryu Karate. Yoseikan Karate in Europe. In 1954, Minoru Mochizuki taught the first European students Yoseikan Karate, first in Switzerland and then in France, where he was invited to teach for the founder of the French Karate Federation, Henri Pli. For the Yoseikan Karate, as it became known, crept across Europe. France. In 1957, Minoru Mochizuki sent his eldest son, Haru Mochizuki, to France to teach karate in Europe. Haru Mochizuki returned to Japan in 1959 to finish his studies. In 1963, he returned to France in order to replace Jim Alkeg, the senior Yoseikan student in France, who had died in 1961. Haru Mochizuki participated in the creation of the French Karate Federation, and in 1964 he became the first technical advisor to the French Karate Federation and European Karate Union. In the 70s, under the supervision of Haru Mochizuki, the French karate team became the first foreign team to defeat the Japanese team in the Karate World Championships. After some time, Haru Mochizuki developed his own style. He initially called it Yokin, but later he changed the name to Yoseikan Budo to honor his father, England. In 1955, Henri Pli, the founder of the French Karate Federation, invited Vernon Bell to study Yoseikan Karate along with other representatives from Germany and Italy. All eventually received the Shoden diplomas from Minoru Mochizuki and were all asked to consider setting up national federations for the development of Yoseikan in each of their own countries. In 1956, Vernon Bell founded the British Karate Federation with the intention of forming a governing body for all karate styles in the UK. Some of the first pupils trained at the Royal British Legion Hall in Upminster, Essex. Between 1958 and 1965, Vernon Bell helped establish branches throughout England. As the BKF continued to grow, he also continued to encourage Japanese sensei teachers to visit British dojos. In 1965, following correspondence with the Japan Karate Association, which was at the time under the supervision of Chief Instructor Masatoshi Nakayama, Vernon Bell agreed to personally sponsor a visit by a group of JKA instructors to help the future development of karate in the UK. These included Taiji Case, Hirokazu Kanazawa, Kainosuke Eda, and Hiroshi Shirai. Although ultimately successful for the British karate movement and in particular Shotokan Karate, this eventually marked the downfall of the BKF due to disagreements between Mr. Bell and the BKF committee. The BKF eventually disbanded in 1966, with most of the members opting to join the newly formed Shotokan organizations. As a result, Vernon Bell redirected his efforts back towards the original Yoseikan karate system he had learned years earlier. He also promoted the arts of jujutsu, judo, aikido to the few members he had left, most of which eventually left Vernon Bell to form independent groups of their own. Many years later, in 2001, Vernon Bell presented Chris Clary with official documentation entrusting him with the duty of continuing the original Yoseikan Karate lineage, originally bestowed to Vernon Bell by the Minoru Mochizuki via Henry Plea. Chris Clary continues to promote the name of Yoseikan Karate, actively teaching the many students and AMP black belt members of the Yoseikan Karate Association UK, Yoseikan Ryu Karate in Japan. Yoseikan Ryu Karate in Japan, as with other counties, traces its origins back to Minoru Mochizuki and the Yoseikan. Today Teruo Sano, a student of Minoru Mochizuki, oversees Yoseikan Ryu Karate in Japan and around the world under his organization, Yoseikan Ryu Karate International. Affiliated groups exist in Australia, as well as Canada and Europe. Yoseikan Ryu Karate in Australia. The origins of Yoseikan Karate in Australia began in aikido in 1968. In that year, Philippe Boeron began teaching Yoseikan Aikido for Yan De Jong in Perth, Western Australia. This led De Jong to travel to Japan in 1969 to train directly under Minoru Mochizuki. In 1974, on an official request from De Jong, Mochizuki sent Yoshiaki Uno to Perth to teach Yoseikan Aikido. He also taught iaido, kobudo, and karate. One of Uno's early students was Branko Bratic, currently ranked 8th dan. Bratic, now under Teruo Sano's Yoseikan Ryu Karate International, became responsible for the spread of Yoseikan Karate across Australia, starting with his first club in 1978. Yoseikan Ryu Karate in Canada. In Quebec, contrary to the Shotokan, which is more widespread, more competitive and which is practiced with more force, Yoseikan Ryu puts the emphasis on the speed of the movement and the use of force only at the last moment of the movement. In Canada, Master Aymi Acute Favor imported the Yoseikan style. Master Favor taught his techniques with Jack Marlowe and Jim Hartnell. The first dojo Yoseikan Ryu in Canada was opened in Montreal, at the House of Radio Canada, in 1973. On January 21, 1999, Master Andre Bertrand, Master Jim Hartnell, Master Jackie Marlowe and Master Michel Shaheen registered the name Association Yoseikan Ryu. Quote, "It acts as an association of karate operating mainly in the area of Longueuil, Pointe-aux-Trembles and La Prairie. In Quebec City, a branch of Yoseikan Karate called Yoseikan Karate Do was founded by Giancarlo Borelli Lucchesi. The present master is Louise Chevalier Kyoshi, 8th Dan Yoseikan Karate Do.